What is up guys, welcome back to the channel. This is Dr. Hamstech and today is my final review here of the vivo V50, a phone that I've been secretly using for the past few weeks already, and I do want to share with you my thoughts, my opinions, and I always like to break it down into 4 main segments. And of course, this is just to give you guys a more comprehensive overview of how this phone has been for me personally over that period of time. And yes, without further ado, let's just get right into it. Alright, so here in Malaysia, the V50 for the official price does go for about 2,000 ringgit, which does place it at about the $400 to $450 mark. So at this price point, it's more of a mid-range phone, and we're gonna look at it from a mid-range point of view. So in the first segment that I do want to talk about here is of course the holding experience. Basically how the phone would feel in your hand on a day-to-day basis, and what I can say is that it feels really good. That's what she said. So what I like about this, first of all, is the design. What I mean by this is that I really like the consistency over here with the V50 because it follows through with last year's V40. And of course, I really do like it because if you're using it for long term, people will know and see that this is a Vivo V series phone, which I of course really do like. Second thing is of course the color of these V50 over here. I of course have the maroon color, and of course it really has a fancy name to it, but of course it looks really nice. Most phone companies will give you, the normal white color edition, maybe the ocean blue, gray, black and all that, but not Vivo over here. They have given you a nice maroon color on this. Looks really nice, very fresh, very elegant, and of course do like the whole layout on this. It's very comfortable to your eyes because it does give you that elegant look, simple, minimalistic, but also standing out from other competitors over here with this design. When it comes to overall feel in hand, I do like it. Of course, I do prefer the more squared sides all around this phone, but this one isn't too bad. You do get a lot of surface areas on the sides here, which it does make it a little bit more comfortable. And of course, you do have the curve on the sides and also on the front here to give you more of a ergonomic feel and also more of a futuristic feel as well. And when it comes to the button placement, I really do like it because they place it really nicely at the above the center mark over here, so it's very easy to reach for the power button and also the volume rockers above it as well. So it's all very nice to reach, and I of course really like the weight to it as well. It doesn't feel too lightweight, giving you that cheap feeling with more of the lower end phones, but it doesn't feel too heavy either, giving you that unbalance when you're using it for long periods of time. And I do like, of course, the camera bump over here, the LED on the back. So it does give you some finger support, especially if you're using it with a phone case. It does give you that kind of finger support if you're using it for long periods of time, going through your social media, and I of course really do like it with this phone with the V50 overall. So when it comes to the holding experience on this, I'm going to give it a solid 8 out of 10. Alright, so moving on to the second segment, let's talk about the viewing experience. So basically I'm going to cover the haptics, speakers, and also display of the vivo V50. When it comes to the haptics, I really do like it here. It doesn't give you that kind of over annoying strong haptics when it comes to sometimes the mid-range phones, but they give you this strong haptic feedback, which does get a little bit too aggressive for my liking, but I do like the subtle approach that we have with the V50. And of course, when it comes to the speakers here, thank goodness for a mid-range phone that we still do have your nice stereo speaker setup. The volume on this is really nice, and of course you do have your nice clear sounds, especially when you're watching your content. Of course, sometimes, most of the times, the phones will give you a single firing speaker, but not with the V50. And I gotta say, when I'm watching all my shows, I really like the sound that does come out from this, and the music as well does come out very nice, very clear, and also pretty loud, I would say. And it just makes it a more immersive experience when you're watching your shows. And talking about watching your shows, I do like the massive 6.77-inch AMOLED panel that we have with the V50. The colors come out really nicely, very punchy, I would say. I wouldn't even say it's the flagship level like the X200 Pros or whatsoever, but for a mid-range phone, the colors on this is really nice. A very good panel on this, which of course is amazing, especially if you want to watch your shows like Cobra Kai or any of your Disney Plus series. I really do like with the amazing display over here. Of course, when it comes to brightness, we have about 1500 to 4000 nits, really helpful, especially for people like me here in sunny Malaysia. You need that extra brightness, and you are actually getting here with the vivo V50. So it's all covered up when it comes to the viewing experience on this. I really do like it, and for that, I'm giving it a solid 8 out of 10. And now let's go on to the third segment, which I think is also really important, and that is of course the user experience. Basically how the phone performs on a day-to-day basis and all the other key features and specs here as well. So when it comes to the specs, I'm really impressed with this because we do have the Snapdragon 7 Gen 3 processor, which almost makes it more of a flagship level phone, especially at this price point over here, which does give you very good performance. The speed on this and the heating issues on this, I have never really experienced too much on this, even with heavy multitasking or even with heavy gaming sessions. So yes, definitely you can use this phone for your gaming sessions as well. It works not just for a good kind of display or social media phone, but you can actually use gaming on this as well, which of course is amazing. And also when it comes to just the smoothness on this, we know about FunTouch OS. It does give you a lot of cool features like your sidebar, your double tap feature, all that fun stuff, which I really do like it here. And it feels really polished on where the whole settings have been placed all around. And of course, we do have some nice cool AI features here as well, like your AI enhancement, AI eraser, which of course does work pretty well, I would say, overall over here. And also when it comes to just the under-display fingerprint scanner, it works really fast, very fast as well. And when it comes to the face unlock, very fast and efficient, really helpful, especially nowadays. And also one thing to note is that with this phone, the FunTouch OS, it does give you 3 major software updates. So definitely this guarantees you at least 3 years of usability over here without worrying about your lack of updates. So that's amazing because you're paying mid-range phone, and if you split it out to about 3 years, you're just paying about $100 for each year with this phone, which of course is really fun and exciting to hear about, because if you look at overall the specs on this, it does perform really nice and it can hold up for I think about 2 to 3 years, no problems whatsoever. Let's go see what will happen in the next few years. So overall, when it comes to the user experience on this, I will give it again a solid 9 out of 10. Okay, and of course, last but not least, let's talk about the camera experience with the V50 phone right here. So when it comes to just the rear cameras, the numbers isn't much. We only have a dual camera setup over here, which I think is still pretty decent because we have a 50 megapixel lens with OIS, and we also do have another 50 megapixel ultra wide lens, which I think is the most useful lens among the other lenses, the secondary lenses, I would say, more so than the telephoto lens. And also when it comes to the selfie department, we do give you a lot of megapixels here, and both the rear and also the selfie cameras can record up to 4K, which isn't surprising as you look at about the internal specs of this phone. But what is really interesting about this V50 here is that even though it's a mid-range phones, they are not really kind of compromising and cutting back when it comes to the cameras on this, which is something I really do like, because if you're looking for a mid-range phone but does give you still very good images, I think the V50 over here does take the cake. I've been taking shots a lot with the V50 and they do give me very good consistent images. I really like the colors that does come out because it does look pretty natural, I would say, but it does give you a little bit more punchiness and a little bit more saturation to make the picture kind of stand out. And also when it comes to portrait mode here, I really do like the edge detection. I really like how the skin tones do come out. Sometimes it does come out a little bit more flashed out, a bit more over processed sometimes, so it's a bit trickier, but overall I do like the consistency that does come with the V50's camera. And also one cool feature that does come with the V50 is of course the halo light that we have on the back camera over here. So not only it just shoots out the LED light, but you can actually change the setting on this, which I think is a really good game changer. You can change the colors to be a little bit more warmer or a little bit more cooler depending on the setting you are. So especially it works really nice with your food mode on, especially when you want to take some stuff and the lighting conditions may not kind of help you a lot. But with the halo light on this, you can actually have a little bit more effect when you're taking your shots, which of course is really fun and also nice to play around with. You can also change the intensity of this, making it a bit higher or lower, which I think is really cool. One cool feature I think they have added on this is of course maybe having it a little bit more the colors like your blue, red, green and all that, and when notifications come in, it actually does pop out, which I think is going to be really cool because we used to have that on the older smartphones back in I think 2015 with my OnePlus 6, where they would have the LED blinker on the top. it is missing nowadays with most of the 2024 and 2025 phones, and I think that would have been really cool with the V50 if they could have done it. But overall, when it just comes to the camera on this, I really like this cool feature to have. It does give you a little bit more kind of flexibility and a little bit more kind of just fun when you're taking your images on this. So when it comes to the camera experience on this, I have to say it did impress me a lot, and I'm going to give it a solid 9 out of 10. Alright guys, so that is it with the vivo V50, and that's my final review. And of course, the ultimate question is, should you go and buy it? For about 2,000 ringgit, I think this is a solid price for a solid phone over here. We have an amazing design and amazing build, and of course you do have up to 3 years of major software updates, which of course is the most important thing when you're buying your phone nowadays, because you want your phone to be consistently updated and be able to last you over a long period of time. You do have an amazing speaker and good display over here, and of course the cameras on this did not lag behind as well, because most of the time when it comes to mid-range phones, this is where they would cut it off. But I really do like it, and of course you do have your IP rating here as well, so it does give you a lot of cool kind of things all around and making it a good phone here, a complete phone at a very affordable price. So definitely this is a phone to consider in case if you guys are looking for a price around this price range. But of course, these are just my thoughts, my opinions. Let me know in the comments down below what you guys think about this phone, or if you guys have any questions, do let me know. If you guys enjoyed this video, do click the like and smash the subscribe button, and I'll see you guys in the next one.